Sky. Have you ever felt as though a single quiet moment could change the direction of your entire life? Imagine discovering that, while the world carries on as usual, Sky, something deeply personal is already unfolding behind the scenes. Something meant specifically for you. Stay with me until the very end, because this message begins with a simple invitation, Sky. Yet it builds toward a truth that could completely reshape the way you see your present season. My beloved, I am here with you, and tonight you have been brought into a moment that is not ordinary. Sky. There is a reason you are hearing these words right now, and that reason is greater than you may realize. What is happening is not meant for everyone, but for those who have chosen to pause, listen, Sky, and remain attentive. I have been calling you for a long time, and because your heart is finally ready to hear me, I am speaking to you with clarity. This timing is not accidental, Sky. Every second we share carries purpose, because events have already begun moving in ways you cannot yet fully see. Stay close to me, because what I am doing has already started. My words are not empty promises, Sky. They are working within your life even now. The burdens you have carried for so long are beginning to lift, not because of your own strength, but because I am taking hold of what has weighed you down. I have watched every struggle, every silent prayer, every hope you have hidden inside your heart. I know how desperately you have longed for change, and that is why I am reaching out to you today. This moment is about more than answers. It is about trust. It is about your willingness to remain with me, even before you see the results you have been praying for. Listen carefully, Sky, because the first signs of transformation will not appear around you. They will begin within you. Long before circumstances change, I begin changing the heart. What I am building is already taking shape, Sky, even if your eyes cannot yet recognize it. These moments matter because they prepare you to receive what is coming. Do not allow distractions to steal your attention now, Sky. I have a purpose that reaches beyond anything you could arrange on your own. I am putting pieces together that no human effort could accomplish, simply to remind you that I have never been far away. Slow down, Sky. Stay here with me. In stillness, you will discover something that constant activity can never provide. When your mind grows quiet, my presence settles over your thoughts, Sky, calming the worries that have followed you for so long. I know every doubt that has crossed your mind. I know how often you have questioned whether good things would ever reach you. Yet even in those moments, Sky, I never stopped working. I have held your attention because what lies ahead requires an open heart. When you choose to trust me, you prepare yourself to receive what I have already been preparing for you. Sky, some things cannot grow in the noise of constant opinions. They develop in quiet places where faith becomes stronger than fear. Keep this close to your heart for now, Sky. Not everything needs to be shared the moment it begins. New beginnings are delicate, and they flourish best when they are protected from misunderstanding and unnecessary doubt. In time, Sky, what I am doing will become obvious, but today I simply ask you to trust the process. Hold this quietly until the work inside you becomes strong enough to stand on its own, Sky. Perhaps you have wondered why you were chosen to hear these words. The answer is simple. You have endured more than many people know, yet through every disappointment you continued searching for me. Sky, your faith did not disappear when life became difficult. I saw your perseverance, and I honor it. Think of David, chosen while still working in the fields, overlooked by everyone except the one who truly mattered. Sky, just as I saw David before anyone else recognized him, I have seen you through every hidden season of your life. What is approaching is not random, nor is it an accident. Sky, it is connected to the quiet prayers you have whispered when no one else was listening. I know exactly what your heart needs, and I know what will finally bring lasting peace. Sky, the season of waiting is drawing closer to its purpose. Stay steady. Receive these words with a calm spirit. I never move without intention, and I have not forgotten you. even when it seemed nothing was happening. Sky. I was guiding you through moments that could have broken you completely. Remember the story of Paul during the violent storm. Even when the sky was dark and the stars could no longer be seen, my presence had never left him. In the same way, I have remained beside you through every uncertain season. Do not let fear convince you that nothing is changing. Sky. The deepest transformations always begin where human eyes cannot see them. First comes the quiet certainty within, and only afterward do the visible signs begin to appear. I am not finished speaking to you. This stillness is not empty. It is preparation. Something inside you is already shifting, drawing your thoughts toward me with greater clarity than before. Soon you will recognize that what once seemed confusing is becoming unmistakably clear. And as this journey continues, you will begin to understand that the greatest changes often arrive quietly, long before the world ever notices them. Even now, while you are listening, something is taking shape beneath the surface. The peace beginning to settle over your heart is not something you created on your own. It is my work unfolding quietly within you. I often begin where no one else can see, because lasting transformation is never built on outward appearances first. It starts deep inside, where fear slowly gives way to confidence and uncertainty is replaced with quiet assurance. Do not mistake this gentle process for inactivity. The greatest works often begin in silence before they become visible to everyone around you. There is a reason I have asked you to remain still. When your heart is no longer racing to solve every problem, it becomes easier for you to recognize my guidance. You do not have to force every answer or carry every burden by yourself. What I am doing does not depend on your ability to control every detail. It depends on your willingness to trust me one step at a time. Even if the entire path is hidden from your view today, I have already walked ahead of you. Every obstacle you fear has been seen, Every question has been heard, and every part of your future rests safely in my hands. For far too long, you have carried responsibilities that were never meant to belong to you alone. They have weighed heavily on your thoughts and left your heart exhausted. Yet this very moment marks the beginning of something different. Release does not always arrive with dramatic signs. Sometimes it begins quietly, almost unnoticed, until one day you realize the burden that once controlled your life no longer has the same power over you. That is how I often work. I remove the weight little by little, until freedom becomes your new reality. As you continue listening, you may notice a change that is difficult to explain. You may not yet have words for it, but you will sense that something inside you feels lighter than before. That is because I am restoring areas of your life that no human eye can reach. I am strengthening places that have been wounded for years and rebuilding parts of your spirit that you believed could never recover. This is not a temporary feeling that fades when tomorrow arrives. It is the beginning of a lasting work that will continue long after this moment has passed. When I told you that you were chosen to witness something rare tonight, I was not speaking about perfection. Being chosen does not mean you have never struggled or made mistakes. It means your heart has remained open despite everything you have endured. I do not measure your worth by your failures. I see your willingness to keep seeking me even when life has given you reasons to quit. That is why you are here today, hearing these words at exactly the right time. Do not underestimate what is happening simply because it feels gentle. The strongest foundations are built slowly, not suddenly. Think about Noah. Long before the rain ever fell, preparation had already begun. Remember Moses, who waited before the path through the sea finally appeared. Their waiting seasons were not signs that I had forgotten them. They were evidence that every part of my plan was unfolding at exactly the right moment. In the same way, your delays have never been meaningless. They existed because the timing had to be perfect. And I would never place something in your hands before your heart was ready to carry it. Now the season of standing still is beginning to change. What once felt blocked is gradually moving forward. Sky. Doors that remained closed for longer than you expected are beginning to unlock, and opportunities that once seemed impossible are drawing closer. Receive these gifts with humility and confidence. Sky. Do not fear that you are unworthy of them. I have prepared you through every challenge you survived, even when you did not understand why those difficult seasons lasted so long. Sky. You may already sense a quiet shift taking place inside your spirit. That gentle confidence growing within you is one of the clearest signs of my presence. I do not always reveal myself through dramatic moments. Sky. More often, I come with steady peace that remains even when circumstances have not yet changed. I meet you exactly where you are today, not where you imagine you should be. Sky, I am not waiting for a future version of you before I begin working. I have chosen this very moment, because this is where your story continues. Sky, that is also why I continue asking you to protect what is growing inside your heart. Some experiences lose their strength when they are shared too soon. Not everyone will understand what I am building within you, and not everyone needs to. Growth requires quiet before it becomes visible. Let this work become firmly rooted before you explain it to others. In time, the fruit will speak for itself. Sky. Never believe you are walking through this season alone. Even when everything feels deeply personal, I remain beside you. I am calming your thoughts, guiding your decisions, Sky, and helping you recognize the small signs that point toward the future I have prepared. This transformation is real. It is not imagination or wishful thinking. I am leading you carefully, one step after another. Sky. Placing your feet on firm ground so that your confidence grows stronger with every new day. Soon you will discover that this quiet work is changing far more than your circumstances. Sky. It is changing the way you see your life, the way you understand your purpose, and the way you recognize my presence in the ordinary moments you once overlooked. And as that understanding grows deeper, Sky, you will begin to realize that the greatest miracles are often the ones that begin in complete silence, long before anyone else can see them. There will be moments when your mind wants to rush ahead, Sky, searching for answers before the journey has unfolded. Resist that temptation. Growth is not measured by how quickly everything changes around you, Sky, but by how deeply your heart learns to trust while you are still waiting. I am teaching you to recognize my presence before you see the evidence. This kind of faith becomes the foundation for everything that follows. A calm heart is capable of carrying far more than a restless one, and the peace I am placing within you today will become your strength in the days ahead. When you become anxious, you often overlook the quiet details that reveal my guidance. Yet those small moments are never insignificant. They prepare you for greater responsibilities that are still on the horizon. Sky, I am strengthening your spirit now so that when larger opportunities arrive, you will stand with confidence instead of fear. Sky, the trust you build in these ordinary moments will sustain you through every extraordinary season that follows. What if the breakthrough you have been searching for did not begin with endless striving, Sky, but with learning how to speak to me from a place of complete trust? Throughout history, people have discovered that sincere faith changes the way they face life's greatest challenges. Sky, many have found peace where anxiety once ruled and hope where discouragement had taken hold. What truly changes a life is not a formula or a shortcut, but a heart that remains open to my direction. That openness allows my work to unfold in ways human effort alone could never accomplish. You have walked through seasons when you felt unnoticed. Your efforts seemed invisible, your sacrifices unrecognized, Sky, and your prayers appeared to disappear into silence. Yet none of those moments escaped my attention. I stood beside you through every disappointment, quietly preparing you for this very season. The struggles you survived were not interruptions to your story. They became part of the preparation that made this moment possible. Remember David, faithfully tending sheep, long before anyone imagined he would become a king. Recall Paul, whose greatest lessons came during storms that seemed impossible to survive. Their hardships were not signs of abandonment, but evidence that I was shaping them for something greater. In the same way, every difficult chapter of your own life has strengthened your heart in ways you are only beginning to understand. If everything had always been easy, you would never fully appreciate the peace I am giving you now. Something steady is developing inside you. The uncertainty that once controlled your decisions is gradually losing its influence. Your resolve is becoming stronger, not because of your own determination alone, but because my presence is taking deeper root within your life. I am building something permanent inside you, something that will remain long after today's emotions have passed. This inner strength will become the foundation for every blessing that follows. You may already notice subtle changes in your thinking. Worries that once consumed your attention no longer seem as overwhelming. The confusion that clouded your judgment is beginning to lift, replaced by a clearer understanding of who you are and where you are going. This is one of the quiet miracles I perform most often. Before circumstances change, I renew the mind. Before I transform the path, I strengthen the traveler. Never underestimate the importance of hidden beginnings. Some of the greatest transformations in life start where no audience is watching. I am working in places no one else can see, forming a future that will reveal itself at the right time. Continue carrying this truth with you, not as a temporary emotion, but as a lasting part of your identity. Learn to recognize me not only during extraordinary moments, but also throughout the ordinary rhythm of everyday life. That is how our relationship becomes stronger with each passing day. You were never meant to experience my presence only during special occasions. I desire that awareness to remain with you wherever you go. Soon you will begin noticing situations falling into place in ways you never planned. Small changes will appear first, seemingly ordinary, yet each one will point toward a much larger purpose. Pay attention to them. What appears insignificant today may become the very evidence that strengthens your faith tomorrow. For now, continue protecting what is growing inside your heart. Seeds require time beneath the soil before they break through the surface. In the same way, this work needs quiet before it is fully revealed. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that is perfectly all right. This moment was never intended to satisfy the curiosity of the crowd. It was meant to deepen your own confidence in what I am accomplishing within you. Even when no one else understands, you are never alone. I remain beside you through every step, strengthening you, encouraging you, and ensuring that what I have placed inside your spirit cannot be taken away. The peace I give is not dependent upon circumstances. It is protected by my presence and strengthened through your continued trust. As long as you continue walking with me, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Stay fully present. I am drawing you closer, not simply to give you encouragement for today, but to establish something lasting within your life. You are living through a season of quiet transformation. Your vision is becoming clearer, your spirit more resilient, and your understanding deeper than it has ever been before. I never rush the work of building a strong foundation, because everything created with patience is able to endure. Perhaps life has seemed unusually quiet lately. Maybe you have mistaken that silence for absence. But this silence is not empty, it is intentional. I have created space within your life so that something entirely new can settle deep within your heart. The clarity you have been searching for is beginning to replace confusion. The noise that once overwhelmed your thoughts is fading, making room for a steady confidence that comes directly from me. I. And as this confidence grows, you will begin to recognize that I have been with you through every moment, even during the seasons when you believed you were completely alone. As this quiet work continues, Sky, you will begin to understand that my guidance unfolds in stages. Every season prepares you for the next, and every lesson has a purpose that reaches far beyond the moment you are living through today. Sky, nothing I do is random. Every step I take in your life is intentional, designed for your good, even when you cannot yet see the complete picture. Sky, the confidence growing inside you now will remain long after this moment has passed, because it is rooted in my presence rather than changing circumstances. Sky, I know there were times when you questioned whether you had wandered too far or somehow missed the path I intended for you. Sky, there were moments when uncertainty became so overwhelming that you wondered if you had been left to figure everything out on your own. Yet I watched every one of those moments, Sky. Even when you could not recognize my hand, I was guiding your steps. Looking back, you will one day realize that what felt like confusion was often quiet direction leading you exactly where you needed to be. Sky, now you are beginning to see yourself differently. The person who once believed they were fragile is discovering a strength that has been growing all along. I am not simply changing your circumstances, Sky. I am changing the way you understand your own purpose. The confidence developing within you does not come from perfect conditions or flawless decisions, Sky. It comes from recognizing that I have remained faithful through every chapter of your story. That realization gives you a foundation no disappointment can easily shake. Sky, do not spend your energy trying to understand every detail before it happens. Some parts of this journey are meant to be experienced before they can be explained. I am restoring areas of your life that words alone cannot fully describe. There are wounds I am healing, relationships I am strengthening, and opportunities I am arranging in ways you cannot yet imagine. Sky, you may not always have the language to explain what is changing, but you will recognize the difference because your heart will carry a peace that was not there before. I am inviting you into a deeper level of trust. One where you no longer need to see every turn in the road before taking the next step. Faith grows strongest when you continue walking even while the destination remains hidden. Sky, I am giving you something dependable to hold on to, a confidence that is built on my character rather than your circumstances. That confidence will allow you to move forward with steady steps instead of constant hesitation. As time moves on, you will notice areas of your life beginning to fit together more naturally. Situations that once seemed complicated will gradually become clear. Obstacles that appeared impossible to overcome will begin moving aside in ways you never expected. These changes are not coincidences, Sky. They are evidence that I have been working long before you could recognize the results. Pay attention to the small victories, because they often become the first signs of much greater blessings still to come. Sky, being chosen does not mean life will never bring another challenge. It means you will never face those challenges alone. Remember Moses as he crossed the wilderness. He encountered obstacles, uncertainty, Sky, and difficult seasons, yet my presence remained with him every step of the way. In the same way, I remain your guide today. When new difficulties appear, Sky, you will discover that your confidence no longer depends upon the absence of hardship, but upon the certainty that I am walking beside you through it. Continue protecting what is growing within you. Sky, this is not about fear or secrecy. It is about allowing something valuable to mature before exposing it to unnecessary doubt. There will come a time to share your testimony, but today is a time to strengthen your roots. The work taking place inside your heart deserves space to become firmly established before it is placed before others. Sky, everything happening now is connected to a much larger story that is still unfolding. What I am doing reaches beyond this single moment. Sky, It is the beginning of a lasting transformation that will continue revealing itself in the days ahead. Remain open to what comes next, because I have not finished leading you. Every new step will reveal another part of the purpose I have been preparing from the beginning. You may notice a quiet stability settling over your spirit, even if your surroundings have not completely changed. Something within you has become steady. That stability is my presence anchoring your life. Whenever the world around you feels uncertain, you will be able to return to this peace because it does not depend on temporary circumstances. It is a gift that remains with you, reminding you that I have never left your side. Hope is also being restored in places where disappointment once lived. I know how many times you tried to stay strong after setbacks that seemed impossible to understand. I heard every silent prayer, every hidden fear, and every question you never spoke aloud. Now I am answering in ways that reach deeper than the solutions you expected. The hope returning to your heart is not temporary excitement. It is lasting confidence built upon my promises. Do not rush ahead or become consumed by questions about tomorrow. Everything I do follows a purpose and a perfect order. If you hurry past this season, you risk missing the wisdom it was meant to give you. Stay present with me. Allow this peace to settle deeply within your heart, because it will become the strength you rely on during every season that follows. And as you continue walking forward, you will begin to discover that the greatest changes were never happening only around you. They were quietly transforming you from the inside out all along. A new season is already unfolding, even if you cannot yet see every part of it. What has been changing inside you is preparing you for what is about to appear around you. This moment is not simply another pause in your journey. It is a turning point. I want you to give me your full attention, because what I am revealing reaches far beyond today. I do not speak empty promises or passing encouragement. Every word I give is rooted in complete understanding, from the beginning of your story to the end. What I have promised has already begun moving into place, and now I am inviting you to receive it with an open heart. I have watched you through every quiet morning when no one else knew what you were carrying. I heard the prayers you whispered when your home was still, the questions you never spoke aloud, and the burdens you hid behind a calm expression. You worked hard to protect those you love, trying to hold everything together while quietly wondering how much longer you could keep going. Whether your concerns centered on your family, your health, your finances, or simply finding peace again, I was there beside you through every moment. I did not merely hear your cries. I was already working long before you saw any evidence that change was coming. What seemed impossible is no longer beyond reach. Human effort could never accomplish what I have prepared, because this work does not depend on circumstances or the approval of others. It comes directly from me. While people admired your strength, I also saw the hidden exhaustion that accompanied it. When difficult news arrived and you chose to remain strong for the sake of those around you, I understood every silent struggle. I became your support even when no one else realized how much you were carrying. Today I remind you that I have never stopped acting on your behalf. You may already sense something awakening deep within you. There is an inner stirring that cannot be explained by coincidence. It is the quiet confirmation that the season you have been waiting for is finally arriving. Stop believing everything depends on your own schedule or your own ability to control every outcome. My timing has always been perfect. What once appeared delayed was simply being prepared. When I decide it is time for something to move, no obstacle can permanently stand in its way. Doors that seemed permanently shut begin to open because my purpose cannot be prevented. Perhaps you expected your journey to continue much longer before anything changed, but I often work in ways that surprise even those who trust me. When hope appears to have faded, I introduce new beginnings. Sky. When every human answer has failed, I create a path no one expected. You may have believed you would simply learn to live with disappointment, but that has never been my intention for your life. Sky. I am not calling you to settle for less than what I have prepared. I am leading you into a future marked by restoration, renewal, and a genuine fresh start. Do not overlook the quiet signs appearing around you. Sky. Sometimes a simple conversation, an unexpected opportunity, or a moment of unusual peace becomes evidence that I am already moving. I have spoken clearly because your heart has remained open, and what is approaching carries my direction. Things that seemed frozen for years can begin changing in surprisingly short periods. What looked lifeless can be restored. Sky. What appeared forgotten can become important again. I speak truth, and what I promise does not fail. There were seasons when others overlooked you or underestimated your value. Sky. Some dismissed your patience as weakness or assumed your waiting had accomplished nothing. Yet while they failed to recognize your worth, I was shaping your character. Every unseen sacrifice, every disappointment, Sky, and every act of quiet faith became part of the foundation I was building. Now the season of constant delay is coming to an end. You are stepping into a new chapter, even if you cannot yet see all that it contains. Sky. Prepare your heart, because what I am bringing into your life will require new ways of thinking, greater expectation, and deeper trust than ever before. I am bringing clarity where confusion once existed. Sky. I am replacing anxiety with peace, weariness with renewed strength, and loneliness with the assurance of my constant presence. The emptiness you once struggled to explain will not define your future. Sky. My presence surrounds you now, and I am filling the places that once felt incomplete. Even if your outward circumstances have not fully changed today, understand that the transformation has already begun. Sky. What starts within you will eventually become visible in every part of your life. Never believe your waiting was meaningless. Every difficult season prepared you for this one. Sky. Every setback taught you something that success alone never could. The unanswered questions, the closed doors, and the unexpected detours all became part of a much greater design. Sky. Now you are beginning to understand that nothing you endured was wasted. I remained beside you through every chapter, and I will continue walking with you through every chapter still to come. Sky. As this message comes to a close, carry these truths with you long after today ends. Do not allow them to become passing thoughts that disappear with time. Let them become part of the way you live. Sky. Shaping your decisions, strengthening your hope, and reminding you that you are never alone. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that the peace growing inside you today is only the beginning. I will continue guiding your steps, revealing new understanding, and reminding you that my purpose for your life has never changed. No matter what tomorrow brings, my presence goes before you, remains beside you, and stays with you always.